Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Today we are going to be going to the First World War. This letter is slightly unreadable due to the individual's interesting handwriting. Uh, I was holding off on this letter, trying to do the best decipher I could, and I finally feel comfortable enough where you can get most of the gist of the letter. This individual served in France in 1918, but without further ado, September or October 6th, 1918. Dear Paul Walt, I am down here freely. Before coming down here in the Riacron Hospital, went to chow so stuffed. At the Frog YMCA, a narrate gave me a couple of leaves. I have a short letter written to you back in my duffel, but I could not send it, or have had any envelopes. Shame. I should buy a couple to get this off to you, but I will wait. Sometimes you will not hear from me, but I do not think that I do not think of you. And would write if I could, but sometimes things are not always so we can write. The fraud Dell did not go to the front this time. It is the first time we did not go up in 4 days. If us beat it down the road to get a day drills and a little late to get some chocolate, tobacco, etc. When we got there, everything in it to it finished. The cursed aid came back. Jesus, we don't want any bad air, 'cause it's not right. Kid, there's something to make you forget your troubles. The same group here got a couple cheap cigars, and boy, the smoke is surely fulfilling. Can barely write with what bothers me. It sure is rotten. I just burned one from Burris and Skull, and fraudulent the subble. Second with stoned ill, and if not, suave too. Kid sure wish we were as bunting trip. We sure were as a blunting trip. So we place where there is some buoyant to get something very illegible. Fidget, the sergeant of the 146 Heavy Artillery, comes in and talks to us now as we are near Thur, France. He is from the Narshville state, in quotations, and he has some bunting tales that would make me homesick, and would you too. Where it comes to bunting, boy, and know you are interested. Well, soon see those days coming nearly every day. There's a long old road to hear aloud, and there is a illegible whole lot of satisfaction of becoming that. Something said something about a frog YMCA. Said you know this, but you may not know what a frog is. That is what we call the Frenchmen. Quite a few of them look like frogs, though believe me when you and Ed have sometimes gone out shooting. Don't you? We are about to leave here soon. Now, we never have to stay in one place for long. Have been very near all over France now. Have been on 4 different fronts. So you can easily see we have been all over some of this old country. And by the looks of things, we will soon be over it some more. I expect the Hessians to surrender as soon as we get into Germany. But if they don't, boy, it's just sure thing we'll get there. Though if they don't surrender, we still have a chance of bringing you something back. Some kind of pistol, don't know for sure what country it will come from, but I'll get you one. I think you'd rather have a pistol than anything else. I would like to get you a whole automatic, but I have not had a chance to get one. It's pretty bad to carry extra stuff now, as everything I have to carry is on our backs. But later I'll do my best to get you something to remember me by. The pipe you gave me broke, or was broken, when I put it in my barracks bag, and we crossed the ocean. And when we came and got the bags again, the pipe was broken. This is the first chance I've had of writing it to anyone with a fear, so I'm going to make the most of it. I have a fountain pen when I was in the stables, but I broke that one and left it over there. I tried to study this lingo over here, Walt, and Wade as one H I make a poor Frenchman even though my line is a French. A muse just 'cause I am the Y for stationary. I guess Quad said, "How do you do?" to love your beloved fellows, or it will be a while to be said and a convoluted thing to speak to, and they just look at the hearth is about what we are all notice, what we all are note. And used to think I could talk to any of the girls, but it has been so long since I've talked to anyone but soldiers. I sure would date. Correction, I sure would like to have a conversation with an American girl now. It was not so bad to have a letter, but I know Sid would make it a hell of a job if so to talk to Tony, to any of them girls. And I are good for we old batch. Now something and that just suits me. If and I can do plenty of hunting and fishing. I don't think anything but outside life would suit me. Now I get a headache if I stay inside a building, and I guess looking at a watch. So guess where, and when I get out, I will move where I can hunt and fish all the time. Would be a poor way to live, don't you think? Maybe not a very prosperous, but a healthy way to live. Well, I boy must say now, I haven't told you much, but have written all you a lot. Bye bye, old Paul Delling, and look for a letter from you again. Now, apologies on the translation or the writing. It's like any time where the writing and the words are a little bit different, as is. I hope that you guys were able to at least decipher what I was saying and or be able to pause the video and read the letter parts yourself. But from what I was able to, comprehend and read, he was trying to enjoy France the best he could, fighting back the Germans, hoping that they would surrender soon. Interesting to see him wanting a souvenir, like a lot of Americans brought back. And on the other side, the Germans fighting for their homeland over a war that should have never been started. But I digress. Hopefully you have all enjoyed this and have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. This is Chris, signing off.